Hello and welcome back to Cook It and Eat It here on Jim Johnston Reviews the World, where it's my channel, so I'll do whatever the heck I want. Now today I got for you a real simple, easy fish dish. We're gonna make some salmon. So all I need for this, a couple pieces of salmon. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to make up your glaze. There's our glaze. And that is made up of 1/2 teaspoon lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of any fruit flavored Italian dressing vinaigrette. So this is a strawberry pomegranate, raspberry is real popular these days, things like that. So you need 3 tablespoons of that, 2 dashers of Worcestershire sauce, 6 drops of liquid smoke, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of oregano, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. Easy as that. You want to mix that up first, put all your ingredients in there, mix it up and let it steep so that all the flavors can meld a bit. Alright, we're going to break out the frying pans, get these off of here. We'll be back to show you how to cook this fish up and how and when I apply the glaze. Alright, it's fish cooking time. I got some Brussels sprouts going on the other pan because it's legitimately dinner time as I'm cooking this. We'll talk more about those in a minute. But I got a nice hot pan here, a little bit of butter and a little bit of oil. So the butter has browned, possibly a little bit more than we like, but it'll be okay. I got my fish here. Lay those in. Alright, that fish has been cooking just a minute while I wash my hands. At this point, we're going to hit it with a light dusting of garlic powder and a very light dusting of seasoned salt. We're going to let this go for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll be back to glaze and flip. Alright, it's been about 4 minutes. We're going to flip the fish. I like to use a spatula. I'm going to flip the fish. I also like to use a slightly smaller than you would expect pan for my fish. I just happen to think that it transfers the heat on the fish better. There we go. Alright, now we're going to start glazing. We're going to glaze this 2 or 3 times while it finishes cooking. If you've seen me in a previous video use a fork with a paper towel folded up and rubber band around it as a makeshift pastry brush, well, I've graduated to the big time. I recently spent some to improve this channel, so I actually have a silicone pastry brush now. So now we're going to brush on a decent amount of that glaze. But you see I'm wearing a wrist wrap today. No big deal. I sleep on my sides and stomach, and once in a while I sleep with my arm folded up with me in an awkward position and end up with a sore wrist for a day or 2. It's no big deal, it's not hurt, I don't have carpal tunnel or anything like that, at least I don't think I do. And probably by the time that you see this video, and I've edited it and everything else like that, I will have probably forgotten that my wrist had been hurting at all. But I thought I would address it before it got to be a big deal in the comments. Alright, now at this point I'm going to turn it down. It's on 4. It would be a medium high, so it'd be towards the higher end of the spectrum of medium high. At this point I'm going to turn it down to a straight up medium and let that go for about 5 minutes and we'll be okay. While things are finishing up, I thought I'd take this opportunity to go over the glaze one more time because this recipe is pretty much all about the glaze. If you have a hot pan and some salmon or some other type of fish that you like, that's all you really need is this glaze. This is a real easy recipe here today. So this glaze is made up of 3 tablespoons of a fruit infused or fruit containing vinaigrette. Raspberry is really popular right now. This one's actually a strawberry pomegranate. So you start with 3 tablespoons of that. Give yourself a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, a 1/4 teaspoon of seasoned salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a whole teaspoon of garlic powder, a whole teaspoon of oregano, 6 drops of liquid smoke, and 2 dashers of Worcestershire sauce. Mix them up about 20-30 minutes before you're going to cook so that all those flavors and those herbs can all steep in together. And then you want to glaze it on top of your fish after you flip it once, 3 times. So I've done that now. This is about done. My Brussels sprouts. So these Brussels sprouts here, you can see, I'll link below a video where I made Brussels sprouts before. This is the exact same recipe, only this time I actually cut them in half. So that's the same thing, only I left out the bacon that's in that recipe, and instead of white onion, I have a green onion in here today. Otherwise, everything else is the same seasonings. Alright, I think it's time to eat here. Let's go ahead and get this fish out onto a plate. Look at that. Alright, check out these salmon fillets. Glazed, delicious. Oh, it's going to be great. I got some garlic noodles here. I made up. Get some of those out on the plate. This is just a bagged garlic noodle from the store. This is generic ones, of course, not the name brand. Check out these Brussels sprouts again. Link in the description below. Look at that char. I like char on them. Anyway, that's enough about that. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look like a dinner fit for a king or a queen or whatever? Hungry person? Let's give it a try. Grab one of these Brussels sprouts first. Delicious as always. Alright, let's try this fish. Flaky, perfectly cooked through. And that flavor is to die for. Wow. Just enough citrus, just enough heat and spice from the garlic and all those things. A little bit of fruity aftertaste kind of from the vinaigrette. That's good stuff right there. Delicious. So you can do this with a regular vinaigrette if you don't have any of those fruit flavored or fruit infused vinaigrettes that are popular right now. The fruit on there just adds a nice little bit of something on the end of the flavor. It feels so fresh with those herbs and everything. It feels like summertime. It's delicious. Well, folks, that's all the time we're going to have for you today here on Cook It and Eat It on Jim Johnston Reviews the World. I want to thank you for tuning in yet again to watch me cook it and eat it. And if you like my stuff, please comment below. Also subscribe and share my stuff with your friends and family. And if you're looking for more ways to connect with Jim Johnston Reviews the World, check us out, same name, on Facebook and now Instagram. That'll do it for today. We'll see you next time, folks.